This is the Pan American Center, and for the last 19 years, the home of the New Mexico State Aggies. And today, the Aggies face the Herculean task of taking on the nation's #1 ranked team, UNLV. Never before has a #1 rated basketball team appeared here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and the Pan Am Center. But #1 UNLV is here today, and the Rebels will be up against a hostile sellout crowd of 13,200. The excitement is building as we bring you UNLV versus New Mexico State and our Raycom PCAA Game of the Week. Raycom Sports presents PCAA Conference Basketball. Today, live from the Pan American Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico, it's the Runnin' Rebels of UNLV versus the Aggies of New Mexico State. Today's PCAA conference game is being brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. It never matters how far you go, Goodyear takes you home. And by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. The Pan Am Center is alive today with great excitement. 13,200 plus fans here today to see if their locals, the New Mexico State Aggies, can knock off #1 UNLV. Hello, everybody. This is Mike Walden, along with former UCLA star Lynn Shackelford. Many teams have tried to defeat UNLV this year, and only one team has been successful, Oklahoma, back in early January, and that by just 1 point in a controversial game. So today, it's another David versus Goliath situation.
It is. New Mexico State can win this game. They'll have the crowd going, but this is a unique UNLV team. They know how to win the close ones, both at home and on the road.
New Mexico State has so many problems with UNLV because they have so many weapons. But heading the list, certainly Armin Gilliam and Freddie Banks.
New Mexico State plays a matchup zone. Well, how do you match up? Because you got Freddie Banks on the one hand hitting the outside three-point shots. Then you got Armin Gilliam. He's Mr. Inside, so it's tough to defend him that way.
Pressure games like this, nothing new to Jerry Tarkanian. In 14 years at UNLV, the Rebels have won 347 times.
Tark has put together a very happy team. He's got the guys on the bench contributing a little bit. The starters all work hard, doesn't matter who they're playing, and they're really got their eyes set on a big season going all the way.
Something's going to have to give here today because UNLV has won 10 in a row, New Mexico State 4 in a row. And leading the resurgence for the Aggies has been the all-around great play of 6'2" senior Kenny Travis.
He definitely has the athletic talent to play with any of the UNLV players. What he has to be careful with is not trying too hard in this game. He's got to stay within the confines of the team concept.
This is Neil McCarthy's second year at New Mexico State. Prior to that, 10 years at Weber State. This very well could be his biggest game ever.
I think so. Biggest game certainly here at New Mexico State. Like he told us a month and a half ago, he was worried this team could go either way. He has been, I think, the one should be given the credit for holding it together and for this little win streak they have.
One thing I know for sure, this crowd is ready. It's wild and raucous here in Las Cruces today. We'll be back with the starting lineups for today's PCAA Game of the Week.
A simple country boy has simple needs. A house, a car, and the most advanced high-performance tires on the road.
Take me where this heart began. Love to ride the same good land that my daddy loved.
The Goodyear Eagle VR was developed out of a Formula One racing tire design, and that's important, even if you're just going next door.
Goodyear, take me home. It hurts so bad. You know it hurts so bad.
Your face takes enough abuse without your disposable razor hurting it more. Now, Gillette introduces Good News Plus, the new disposable with a white Lubra-Smooth strip designed to reduce pulling and skin irritation.
Hurts so bad.
Finally, there's a disposable that feels so good. Good News Plus, new from Gillette, the essence of shaving.
Motor Trend Car of the Year, Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. Ford consultant Jackie Stewart tells you why.
It's a rare combination of sophisticated engineering. A new intercooled turbo for extra power. Computer-controlled suspension for ride and handling. Anti-lock braking gives you surer stops. No other car in the world has all that standard. Thunderbird Turbo Coupe, Motor Trend Car of the Year.
Now with Ford's 6-year, 60,000-mile new car powertrain warranty.
And now the starting lineups for UNLV. Gerald Patio, a 6'8 junior from Rayne, Louisiana, averaging 14.5 points a game. Jock White will get the starting nod for New Mexico State. He is a 6'3 junior from Pasadena, California, averaging 5.7. Arvin Gilliam, the big, strong guy inside for UNLV, 6'9", a senior, the #1 scorer in the PCAA, averaging 23.4. Johnny Robertson, a 6'8 sophomore from San Antonio, Texas, will go at a forward spot for New Mexico State. Robertson is averaging 11.6. Jarvis Bassnight, a 6'8 junior from Bourbon High School in Los Angeles, will be in the middle for UNLV. And for New Mexico State, Steve McLaughlin, a 6'8 sophomore from Edison High in Fresno. McLaughlin averaging 9 points a game. Mark Wade, who is the quarterback of this UNLV team, will be at the guard spot. He is averaging 10.7 assists per game. The #1 assist man in the NCAA. Kenny Travis, the star for New Mexico State, a 6'2 senior out of Edison High in Fresno, averaging 19.8. And here comes Freddie Banks, fearless Freddie Banks, averaging 19.8. Great three-point shooter for UNLV. And at the other guard spot for New Mexico State, Keith Hill, a transfer from Michigan State who just became eligible the 20th of December. He's now been assimilated into the system, and that's one of the reasons why New Mexico State has played so well of late. Jerry Tarkanian, in 14 years, the head coach at UNLV, and in his second year at New Mexico State, Neil McCarthy. We'll be back with the start of this game right after this.
How much longer till we get there?
About 20 minutes.
Anti-lock brakes, internationally patented suspension, uncanny control. Conventional luxury sedans are built to survive accidents. The BMW 528e is built to avoid them.
Let's see if they're okay.
Contact your Chasen Motor BMW dealer for a thorough test drive.
At McDonald's, we have just one question for the coach. Aren't you tired of the same old thing? Why not try this? McDonald's Unbeatable Double Cheeseburger, and this, our crowd-pleasing double regular size fries, and a large Coca-Cola. Come on, go for it, Coach. It's McDonald's Runnin' Rebels meal deal, only $2.99. And you get a free Runnin' Rebels bumper sticker that's your ticket to win. Oh, Coach.
Can anyone stop the man they compare to Dempsey, Lewis, and Marciano? Can anyone overcome the youngest heavyweight champion of all time? The man who scored boxing's most stunning upset says he can. See for yourself. Iron Mike Tyson versus James Bone Crusher Smith, March 7th at the Las Vegas Hilton, where the historic battles are fought. Call now.
John Danglis, the supervisor of officials for the PCAA conference, has assigned Dave Libby, Chuck Camuso, and Dee Burton to work this game. Libby will be the referee. Three-point shot should be extremely important in this game, but look how many times UNLV has put it up from three-point range. 517 times, successful 217 times. That is 42%. New Mexico State now 293 attempts for 121. And of course, the key man is this man, Freddie Banks. He has made 107 three-point shots this season. UNLV's 28 opponents, all 28 combined, have made only 102 three-point shots. And there are your lineups as we get ready to go. It'll be McLaughlin jumping center against Jarvis Basnight. 13,200 plus here in Las Cruces. And it is flipped back into play by Keith Hill, and UNLV brings it up court. Mark Wade, and right away New Mexico State sets up in the zone.
They'll give Mark Wade the shot out there. Let him shoot it anytime he wants. They won't even put a man on him. He's used to that. That's the way everyone's playing them.
Wade averages only 3.5 shots a game. Gilliam has a block from behind, and there is Patio missing. White has it. Jock White for New Mexico State.
UNLV, they love to play man-to-man defense, and they play it well.
And it goes to Kenny Travis along the baseline.
That's what I talked about earlier. He shouldn't try to do too much. I think he forced that shot a bit. Neil McCarthy said he was fouled.
Neil McCarthy working on Dave Libby already, and there is Gerald Patio, banging that one in for UNLV. 2-0, Rebels. Keith Hill brings it up for New Mexico State against Mark Wade.
Again, they go to Kenny Travis. Now this time, he's in good position. He gets the ball in good position and makes a good shot out of it.
Wade works it over to Freddie Banks. Game tied at 2. Patio open from three-point range. Wade fires up a three-pointer. Rebound is taken down by Hill. Kenny Travis. And it comes right back out to Mark Wade. UNLV with a 4-on-2. Banks takes a three-pointer, nails it. A three-pointer by Freddie Banks. 5-2 UNLV.
That's where you really have to pick them up on that three-pointer, is when they come down on the fast break. They are not afraid. In fact, I think they're encouraged to put up that three-pointer. You're just not used to defensing that. Robertson goes for that baseline, scores it. 1 point lead for UNLV. Someone, I think it was Steve McLaughlin, set a beautiful screen inside that allowed him to go all the way.
Keith Hill trying to give Mark Wade some problems as Wade brings it across the midcourt line. Basnight to Wade. Gilliam on the turnaround. Rebound comes off to McLaughlin. It's 5-4 UNLV. Jock White. Kenny Travis, he's tempted to pop from there. Drives, takes a tough, difficult shot, but makes it. That was a tough angle shot for Kenny Travis.
Yeah, no doubt he forced it. He's talented. He can make those.
And it's a 6-5 lead for New Mexico State.
Oh, I don't know about that. Crowd is very happy. I think the ball was knocked out of Mark Wade's hands. I agree with Tark on that. There it is. He knocks it away. The ball rolls into the backcourt. Now, I think the official who made the call, Dave Libby, at the top of your picture, was boxed out. He didn't see it. So you can't call what you don't see. If he doesn't think the other guy touched it, then he's going to call it the way he sees it.
A 6-5 lead for New Mexico State in the first 2.5 minutes. Keith Hill being bothered by Wade. The foul is on Wade. This crowd is really primed, hoping for an upset. A year ago, UNLV came in here, led by 5 at the half. Or rather, New Mexico State led by 5 at the half, and then UNLV blew them out in the last 5 minutes.
You could see Wade hooked a little grip around him there, around the waist, and the official caught it.
Robertson has it knocked away by Wade. Wade will take it all away and block from behind. Robertson.
It was almost as if they set Wade up. They kind of laid off him and said, oh, we're going to concede the basket. Look at White. He just backs off, says, oh, I got a teammate, Robertson, that knows how to take care of this.
Yes, indeed. Wade will inbound it. Comes over to Banks. Banks falling out of bounds. flips it over to Bashnight. He throws it back over to Hill, to Jock White. Back over to Travis. Kenny Travis has 6 of the first 8 for New Mexico State. Gilliam double teamed.
Oh, he had Patio wide open over there in the three-point shot and didn't see him.
Wade going for that ball along with McLaughlin. The foul is called against Mark Wade.
Wade is always trying to officiate and help the official out.
But that is the second personal on Mark Wade, and we have played 4 minutes. And Wade certainly is a key man for UNLV, averaging 10.7 assists a game. Travis bounces it off somebody's leg. I think it was Freddie Banks. Inadvertently kicked. A 3-point lead early for New Mexico State. 8-5 over UNLV. Dave Libby, Chuck Camuso, D. Burton, the 3 officials. The students were lined up outside 4 hours before game time, trying to get in. Over to McLaughlin, partially deflected, and UNLV has it. Bashnight coming off with it for UNLV to Freddie Banks. Banks is fouled. The foul is called against Jock White. First foul against New Mexico State. UNLV with a record of 27-1. New Mexico State 14-12. Timeout here in Las Cruces. An 8-5 lead for the Aggies of New Mexico State.
To the sound of high performance, to the feel of driving for fun, Ford Motor Company now adds one more emotional jolt. The idea of saving good money. Ford Ranger, Ford Bronco 2 now come equipped with 3.9 financing or cash back. For a limited time, 3.9.
The second step in a personal injury case is interviewing the client, finding out how the accident happened and how badly she was injured. Usually we see the client at our office, but often we go directly to the hospital to make sure he's getting the proper legal advice right from the beginning.
Call Edward M. Bernstein and Associates, attorneys at law, the first step in your personal injury case.
Take the first step.
If you think the food served at Jerry's Nugget looks good on television, wait until you taste it.
This afternoon's PCAA conference telecast is a copyrighted product of Raycom Sports. Any reproduction or other unauthorized use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of Raycom Sports is strictly prohibited. Checking over the Raycom scoreboard, Georgia Tech a winner over Duke. Pittsburgh won again, 76-66 over Connecticut. Pittsburgh, one of the top teams in the East. Kentucky got even with LSU, beating them at Baton Rouge after the Tigers had won at Lexington earlier in the season. It'll be out of bounds to New Mexico State.
That was a strange play to run after a timeout. Usually you call a play during the timeout, and to see Mark Wade put up a shot that quickly, it was a bit unusual.
I'll say it's unusual. I mentioned right at the outset that Wade is averaging only 3.5 shots a game. Wade already has taken 3 shots in the first 4.5 minutes. Hill doesn't get it to drop. Tipped in. Who had the hand up there?
I think McLaughlin. But they may.
Are they going to allow it?
No, they took it away.
Yeah, because the ball was on the lip of the rim.
Yeah.
Still in that cylinder. So that tip in by McLaughlin will not count. It's still 8-5 New Mexico State. Wade and Gilliam. Patio from 3-point range. Doesn't get it. And scrambling in there for the ball is Jock White. Keith Hill. Robertson looking in for McLaughlin. Look, McLaughlin has it knocked away. Here comes Eldridge Hudson for UNLV. To Banks. Three-point shot by Freddie. Comes off to Kenny Travis. They've got a 3-on-2 underneath White. Score it.
They are not known as a running team, but they are really running on the running Rebels right now, New Mexico State.
Great transition play by the Aggies. 10-5, New Mexico State. Patio to Wade. Wade puts up his fourth shot of the game, and it's his fourth miss. McLaughlin for New Mexico State. A 10-5 lead for New Mexico State. We saw San Jose State play UNLV tough a couple of weeks ago up in San Jose, but the Rebels prevailed. 4 turnovers already by UNLV, so I think this sellout crowd, or a near sellout here at the Pan Am Center, has gotten to the Rebels a little bit. That miss is taken down by Travis. Here comes Hill. Hill drives the lane, scores it!
Armin Gilliam very, very slow to get back on defense. Hill sensed it, and Hill's doing an excellent job of setting up and getting this offense going.
Wade gets around Hill. A shot by Patio. Patio for 3. Gerald Patio. And it's a 12-7 Aggie lead.
They need to do more of that.
Make that 12-8 on the three-pointer by Patio. Keith Hill. Hudson for UNLV. Patio 17-footer. Patio has 7 points. 7 of the first 10 for UNLV. Gilliam and Banks and Wade have been silent. Patio has made the big noise here for UNLV in the first 7 minutes. Kenny Travis. 14-10. Travis has 8 points. This has developed into a personal duel between Patio and Kenny Travis. 14-10, New Mexico State. Patio, another three-pointer. Patio touched it last. It'll be out of bounds, New Mexico State. And inbounding right in front of our TV monitor will be Keith Hill of New Mexico State. Gary Graham comes in for UNLV. He will replace Mark Wade. I tell you, they don't fall off too much, UNLV, when Graham comes into the lineup. He's an excellent player. Robertson misses from the side. There is Travis. Travis went hard to snag the rebound and then put it in with the left hand. Travis already has 10 points. Do you think he's stoked up? I mean to tell you. Graham shot from the side. It's Travis, taken away by Hudson. Hudson's 5-footer. 16-12. New Mexico State. Travis has 10 points. 10 of the 16 for the Aggies.
He's walking down the court, Mike, and breathing really hard. He may just burn himself out at the rate he's going.
Travis again. Yeah! A three-pointer by Travis. 19-12. Travis has 13. What were you saying about burnout?
Well, let's wait till the second half and see what happens.
All right, Graham has it blocked by New Mexico State's Keith Hill.
One of the few times UNLV has been able to get the ball really inside where you'd like to go a few times, or at least on occasion, and they just haven't been able to do it.
It's been the Kenny Travis show here in Las Cruces. 13 of the 19 for New Mexico State. Lawrence West and Mark Wade back in for UNLV, replacing Gerald Patio and Freddie Banks. Graham's a good free throw shooter. Graham is 83% at the line. Gary Graham, a 6'4" senior, went to Dunbar. High school well noted for its great basketball talent in the Baltimore area.
Students have been here for a couple hours, just waiting to bother the free throw shooters, I guess.
You know, I think UNLV shoots free throws better when they've got all of those distractions going on. It causes them to make and concentrate even more.
Probably a good point.
11:23 left in the first half. A 5-point lead for New Mexico State over number 1 UNLV.
Give me a light.
That's not correct, Steve. Don't just ask for a light beer.
Come on, give me a light.
You asked for it, Steve.
Bud Light!
Yes, Steve. Bud Light. The light beer with the first name and taste.
Don't just ask for a light.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light, Steve.
With the Hayes modem, a sales manager can check inventories in manufacturing or track shipments through the mainframe across the country. A lawyer can get precedents to prepare a brief. A farmer can check commodity prices to determine when to sell. And an investor can get the information he needs from Dow Jones, Dun & Bradstreet, or even the government. The Hayes modem. It's like fitting a 10,000-book library in a 10-inch case.
The Great American Face. Strong, sensitive. The Great American Razor, Atra Plus, solid, with a Lubra Smooth Strip for extra protection. The Great American Face deserves the Great American Shave. Atra Plus, only from Gillette.
Forget to stay tuned. At the end of today's telecast, we'll be choosing our Ford Player of the Game. And right now, who else but Kenny Travis? Travis with 13 of the first 19 New Mexico State points. UNLV has done so well on three-point attempts. Look at that. UNLV shooting only 28%, but carry that one step further. The Rebels are only 2 out of 10 in three-point shots so far. New Mexico State, meanwhile, shooting 60% from the field.
Don't worry, though. Even though they're 2 for 10, they'll still keep putting it up. And that'll be a big, big help, I think, in knowing that they still have the green light to put it up. A 5-point deficit really means nothing to UNLV with that three-pointer. They can hit 2 or 3 in a row, as many opponents have found out this year.
5-point lead for New Mexico State as Keith Hill brings it up against Mark Wade. Travis with 13, off to Jeff McCool. Now McCool's a good three-point shooter if they decide to do that. Ball stripped away from Travis, and coming out of there with the ball is Keith Hill. Robertson looking inside. Travis says, give it to me.
Oh, Travis has got being guarded by Mark Wade.
That's right. It's a mismatch because Wade is only 5'10", Travis at 6'2".
Now they make the switch.
Robertson from the side. And Chuck Camuso has a foul against Kenny Travis, using his elbow for better positioning underneath the boards.
If you look at this again, if you see it, it probably could have gone either way. Travis is pushing. Graham is really leaning back on him.
That's the first foul on Travis. 3 team fouls, New Mexico State. A couple of weeks ago, the Aggies were in 9th place in the PCAA. And they've rattled off 6 out of their last 7. 4 straight. They're now in 2nd place. 8 and 7. Wade on a three-pointer. Rebounded by Jeff McCool. Of course, UNLV has won the league for the 5th straight time. The University of Nevada, Las Vegas has been in the PCA 5 years, have won the league championship all 5. Inside to McLaughlin. He's got it.
He makes a very short, efficient turnaround jump shot, goes straight up, much like the guy he shot it over, Armin Gilliam. Gilliam does that very well, too.
Hudson driving the lane. His 10-footer is grabbed off by Hill. Hill down to Travis, and he let him too much. Travis at 6'2" would have had to have been 7'2" to have been able to grab a hold of that pass. That is 4 turnovers now by New Mexico State. 21-14, the Aggies lead it. 9:42 left in the first half. Hudson off to Gary Graham. Graham back out to Hudson.
They don't have a whole lot of offense out there, Mike. Right now, they should be going into Gilliam.
And they just did, but I think Gilliam was fouled by McLaughlin before he released the shot. Freddie Banks coming back in. He's got a towel around his neck. Has to get rid of that first. Banks comes back for Wade. I can't believe we've gone this far in the game and Banks has only 3 points. But he's always a threat, as his record indicates, averaging 19.8. Lawrence West leaves the UNLV lineup. Jarvis Bassnight is back in, so UNLV will have Bassnight, Wade, Hudson,
yeah, they got
Graham, and Gilliam.
It was a good try.
Hudson has to go.
Yeah.
I know a lot of teams would like to play UNLV with 6, but UNLV, as good as they are, trying to play with 6. 21-14. Off the knee of Travis. 9:22 left in the half. New Mexico State 21, UNLV 14. And the 13,000 plus in the Pan Am Center here today, seeing what they hope for, the Aggies to get off to a good start. Wade cut off, out to Graham, his three-pointer. Rebounded by Travis, another rebound for Travis.
Oh, he went high for that.
Travis has 4 rebounds to go with his 13 points.
Travis and Brian Shaw of Santa Barbara, 2 best rebounding guards in the conference.
A steal by Bassnight off to Wade. Wade will score it. Nice play by Jarvis Bassnight, who's been playing quite well for the Rebels in the last 3 weeks. It's a 5-point lead for New Mexico State over #1 ranked UNLV. Kenny Travis pops from the outside, a three-pointer. He's got it. Oh! Travis is doing it all. Travis now with 16. Banks misses. Follow up by Graham, and that doesn't go. McLaughlin fighting for the ball along with Gilliam, and it'll be out of bounds to UNLV. And look at Neil McCarthy right at the top of the picture, right in the middle. He was irate over that call.
Well, between McCarthy and these students in this crowd, you got to have a little courage to call it against New Mexico State this afternoon.
Gilliam is 1 out of 4 shooting so far. Or rather, Banks is 1 out of 4. Gilliam is 0 for 2.
And you look at it again, it looked like UNLV got a break.
Wade misses underneath. Here comes Keith Hill. 24-16, New Mexico State. McCool for a three-pointer. Freddie Banks. Banks lobs it down to Graham. Baseline shot by Graham. It is short. Rebound McCool. That's 2 boards now for McCool since he's been in. He's not noted for his rebounding. He is noted for his shooting.
They ought to just work it around and let Travis take a shot.
Travis kicks it off over to McCool. New Mexico State 24, UNLV 16, 7:40 left in the first half. Mike Walden and Lynn Shackelford into McLaughlin. Score it!
Armin Gilliam is really slow out there, just kind of cruising around, not playing a typical Armin Gilliam game.
Banks and a three-pointer, wide of the mark, an air ball. Another rebound for Jeff McCool. 3 defensive rebounds for McCool.
This is going to be a real good test for UNLV. Things are not going well for them at all.
Inside to McLaughlin. He has it knocked away by Banks. Over to Wade. UNLV dodged a bullet there. Wade on the drive, doesn't get it. And the foul against New Mexico State. Look at McCarthy. Hey, is McCarthy into this game? You know, he was a heavyweight boxing champion in the Army at nearby Fort Bliss during his Army days.
I don't know what the defensive guy did wrong on that play.
Look at that. Great camera work. I mean to tell you, McCarthy is chewing on Dave Libby. And Wade will go to the line. The foul is on John Robertson. And yeah, as McCarthy chews on Libby, Tart chews on his towel. Wade with 2 points, make it 3. 26-17, New Mexico State leading #1 UNLV. Mark Wade, the transfer from Oklahoma, out of Banning High School in San Pedro, California, makes both of them. and it's a 26-18 lead. New Mexico State timeout in Las Cruces. 7 minutes left in the first half.
Again at Little Detroit?
This time you're not going to believe it.
What?
He's got the XR3, the sporty model, sporty interior. Look at this guy, I can't believe it.
And the financing, $397.
It's 3.9, but you save $1,275, and they'll even write you a check for $600.
$600. And how about that trade-in used car bonus? 2 free dinners at State Street Restaurant.
State Street?
We've got the shape you wanna be in.
Hello. I'm standing here in the betting parlor of the Barbary Coast. Not only can you wager on your favorite trotter or thoroughbred in elegant comfort 12 hours a day, but now the Barbary is also the home of nighttime dog racing. So come on down, have some fun. See all the puppies and the ponies running live on satellite TV. Somebody's got to win. The Barbary Coast. It's still the best game in town.
It's a tight one over St. John's today. That was back east. It was not in Lawrence, Kansas, where Kansas has a winning streak of 48 straight at home. But this one was back east. And Larry Brown's team pulled it out. Fordham over Texas, 60-48. Michigan pounding Northwestern today, 107-73. And another final. Tulsa beats Bradley, 74-70. UNLV is shooting only 22%. New Mexico State, 60%. Over to White. Jock White. There's McLaughlin, too short an air ball. And Dave Libby says it'll be out of bounds for UNLV. I look around this Pan American Center. It holds 13,222. I do spot some empty seats. Now, perhaps those seats were sold because they had a 2.5-inch snowstorm here early this morning. In fact, it's still snowing outside. 26-18, the Aggies over UNLV. Hill puts it up, and a foul call. That will send Hill to the free throw line. It's on Freddie Banks.
You got to say one thing for New Mexico State. They're not intimidated. They're not afraid to take it right to UNLV, and that's what they're doing here.
Keith Hill is a 6'4" freshman who became eligible right before Christmas after transferring from Michigan State. New Mexico State has shot only 65% at the free throw line this year. UNLV, 70% as a team. Hill misses both free throws. Well, I tell you, when you get UNLV down, you better keep them down. You can't give them opportunities. They'll take advantage of it.
Bass Knight really doing a lot of shoving and pushing. What happened was they were both pushing and shoving. Bass Knight kind of threw an elbow, and that's when the officials saw it.
4 team fouls on New Mexico State. First one on Bass Knight. The Aggies of New Mexico State 26, UNLV 18. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Gilliam has not scored. Banks has only 3. That's the big story. Travis! 28-18. Travis is out of his mind here in the first half. 18 points. Graham. Rebound McLaughlin. The foul on Graham. Can you believe we have only 6 minutes left in the first half? Gilliam has not scored. Banks has only 3 points. Unbelievable.
Gilliam has been like he's not out there all afternoon. Last time I saw UNLV play, I thought he looked very tired. And today he is either under the weather or, again, he is just kind of tired, been worn down. They're double teaming him, and really he's not doing much about it.
Robertson to McLaughlin. To White. Almost a steal by Bass Knight. Robertson shot, no. McLaughlin, yes.
Once again, Gilliam just not really a factor. McLaughlin too quick on the offensive boards.
New Mexico State leading by 12. 5.5 minutes to go before intermission. The crowd on its feet here at the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces, loving every precious second. And now, Patio turns it over. Tark is beside himself. You don't see Tark that angry that often. And his hands are flailing away. Timeout call by UNLV. The #1 Rebels trailing by 12.
It could be any time now.
No, Bill had to leave. Can I help you?
A friend is counting on you.
We need copies by 4:30. I'll cover it for him. Not a word.
You keep on coming through, 'cause you make America work, and this one's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This bug's for you.
Right now, you can save big on Ford Ranger and Bronco 2 special value packages. And for a limited time, you can get 3.9% financing or $500 cash back on Ranger, $600 on Bronco 2. And if you have the cash back from Ford to option package discounts, you can save up to $2,165 on Bronco 2 and $1,811 on Ranger. Ford Ranger and Bronco 2. Build fun tough with value better than ever.
This is the second meeting of the year between these two teams, UNLV and New Mexico State. Will they play again? Well, it could happen at the Forum on March 5th, 6th, or 7th in the PCA basketball tournament. You can get your tickets now by contacting the Forum, your local PCA school, or Ticketmaster. They'll all be there, as well as the women's PCA tourney.
And when UNLV beat New Mexico State, that was the third week in January by 27 points over at the Thomas and Mack. New Mexico State has never beaten UNLV. 0-8 against the Rebels. But the Aggies on top right now, 30-18. Robertson, yeah!
They've got to get some big guys in there. UNLV's got to go to the bench with some big guys because they're just getting hurt inside.
And it's another UNLV turnover. Right now, the Rebels are a far, far cry from the nation's #1 team. And again, I think you have to give a big assist to this crowd. They have been loud since they were allowed in 2 hours before the start of the game, and I think it's gotten to UNLV.
I'm really curious how they react to this adversity. Fast Night was taken out. He said, "What did I do wrong?" He goes down to the end of the bench. Tark is mad at him. He's mad at everything.
White doesn't get it. And it comes off to Gary Graham. The Rebels trailing by 14 to Gilliam, and he scores. And that's the first basket of the game for Armin Gilliam, and it comes with 4 minutes and 24 seconds left in the first. 32-20, New Mexico State. Robertson into McLaughlin, bank shot, yes, he does it again.
Sure, you got to go inside. He can score over Gilliam with ease.
I tell you that Fresno Edison High School connection paying great dividends today for New Mexico State. Travis with 18, McLaughlin with 8. 34-20, Gilliam shot. Air ball and a foul called underneath. It's either going to be against Travis or Robertson. And it'll be on Travis, a push. His second. 16 foul against New Mexico State.
I think it goes without saying they cannot afford to have Kenny Travis in foul trouble.
A 14-point lead for the Aggies of New Mexico State. 8-7 in the league. Patio for a three-pointer. Rebounded hard by Robertson. To Keith Hill against Gary Graham. Graham is very aggressive out there. Hill puts it up, doesn't get it. The foul on Graham. Well, I just mentioned that he was aggressive. I'm surprised the whistle wasn't blown back around the midcourt line.
And Jerry Tarkanian says, "Gary, just back off a little. You don't have to play it that tough out there." Graham is the best defensive guard on the team. He likes to play it.
2 fouls on Graham, and that is 16 fouls against UNLV. But, of course, Hill, fouled in the act of shooting by Graham, will be at the line. Now, he missed his last 2 free throws, the last trip to that spot. 35-20, a 15-point New Mexico State lead, 3.5 to go in the first half. Hill's got both of them. 36-20. The Aggies up by 16. The folks here in Las Cruces, their eyes big as saucers, in bewilderment that their team able to jack up a 16-point first half lead over the number 1 team. Wade from outside. Hill rebounds for New Mexico State.
They are playing defense brilliantly. They're double teaming Gilliam. They're keeping the ball away from Banks, and Wade is falling for the trap of letting him shoot it.
They tried to work it into McLaughlin, but it was tipped away by Armand Gilliam. Wade for UNLV. I just can't believe what I'm seeing. That is 6 turnovers by UNLV. They had a promotion here to sell some New Mexico State towels. They sold out 2 hours before tip-off.
UNLV is playing before their 18th sellout crowd in the last 20 games. Mike, they should be used to big crowds like this, but they seem to be a little flustered, no question at this point.
Hill back over to Robertson. 16-point lead, New Mexico State at 36-20. Robertson at the free throw line. He gets the bounce. 38-20. Mark Wade for the Rebels. Patio. Wade looking inside for Gilliam. Gilliam doesn't seem to be too active in the middle.
Not at all. See, now Wade's realizing I can't take the shot. I got to go to someone else.
Hudson puts it in.
They need some spark off the bench from somebody, Hudson or someone like that, because the starters aren't getting it done here in the first half at least.
Less than 2 minutes to play in this first half. And this crowd in Las Cruces yelling in bewilderment that their Aggies have been able to do this to UNLV. Travis has it stripped. Underneath, no. And Travis will go to the free throw line. What can you say about Kenny Travis? He has made 8 baskets in 10 shots, including his last 7 in a row, and fouled on the opportunity coming up here. Foul is on Hudson.
See, that's where Travis shows you his great athletic skills. He misses a shot, but he stays in the play.
Kenny Travis, a 6'2 senior, Edison High School in Fresno, California. 39-22. I'm surprised that New Mexico State has this large of a lead, and I'm surprised that New Mexico State has scored this many first half points. 40 now.
Yeah, they average 69 per contest. UNLV's got 22. They come in
averaging 94.
94.
Banks from three-point range. He misses. UNLV now 2 out of 16 in three-pointers. 2 out of 60. Travis! Points for Kenny Travis. What a virtuoso performance. Patio. Gilliam loses it. Gets it right back. Gilliam on 5 feet away, misses it. Hudson has it rejected. And Hudson tumbles along with McLaughlin. A 20-point, that's right, folks, if you're just joining us, a 20-point lead for New Mexico State.
Look at that block. McLaughlin, as Mike mentioned, like Kenny Travis from Fresno Edison High School. Those 2 guys right there are beating UNLV.
Jeff McCool back in for New Mexico State. Travis goes to the bench. He has 2 fouls, and Neil McCarthy doesn't want him to pick up his 3rd in the closing seconds. Gilliam's turnaround finds the mark. It's 42-24.
That is a smart substitution by McCarthy.
And it comes to Robertson.
The second half's going to be interesting.
I'll say. Hill. There is Jock White. And Jock White is fouled by Freddie Banks. 2 fouls on Freddie Banks. And Banks has only 3 first half points. Gilliam only 4. Well, a lot of surprises here in the first half. Jock White, 6'3 junior from Pasadena, California, will go to the line. He's a 51% free throw shooter. And that man, Jerry Tarkanian's running Rebels down by 18 points. 15 seconds till halftime. 43-24. You know, the score is going to be flashed around the nation, and people in other sections are going to say, they got it reversed. It's UNLV. New Mexico State all the way in the first half. 43-24. It's taken down now by Eldridge Hudson. Off to Mark Wade. UNLV 27-1. They played 6 teams nationally ranked. Beat them all. Split with Oklahoma. There's Patio. Nope. That's it. The first half is over. Listen to this crowd. Travel arrangements for today's telecast made through PSA. Follow the PCAA on the airline which pioneered low fares in the West. PSA, catch our smile. Well, it has been all New Mexico State here in the first half. At one time, the Aggies had a 20-point margin. Now it is only 19. But let me tell you, a lot of firepower in that UNLV lineup. The Rebels aren't out of it yet. No way. Not with another half to be played. Our halftime continues after these messages.
Another 30 seconds of common sense. Walk into most automobile showrooms and ask to see something under $7,000, and you'll get very little show with a lot of room for improvement. But at Hyundai, you'll get 7 XL models for under $7,000, all thoroughly equipped and starting at only $49.95. And that leaves very little room for the competition.
Test drive an XL at Fletcher Jones Hyundai in Las Vegas. We sell cars that make sense.
When your world falls apart and somebody caused it, who can help? Carl Piazza, personal injury attorney.
For 14 years, I've dedicated myself to helping victims and their families get the justice they deserve. Now I've got new offices, staff to get fast action and give you personal service. I really care about helping you.
Carl Piazza, an attorney who can win for you. He can put your world back together.
Tune-ups are a thing of the past. Today, this computer engine analyzer provides a printout of problems.
But those computers don't do it all. That's why my service includes tire wear and pressure checks. A good look at the belts.
New antifreeze when I change your oil and filter? You bet. Self-serve gas may be okay with you, but ask your car. It makes my job
more important than ever. For imports or domestics, bring your car to our service centers. We have certified mechanics, the best equipment, free maintenance inspection, and confidence.
Ted Weens Tire and Auto Centers, 5 convenient locations.
I can eat at any Sunday buffet, but here at the Palace Station, the food is so wonderfully fresh, I wouldn't brunch anywhere else.
Palace Station's Sunday Champagne Brunch features plump fruits and vegetables. Our all-you-can-eat entrees are rich in flavor. There's complimentary champagne, and our pastries are simply divine. So on Sundays, why just buffet when you can brunch at Palace Station? Great food, lots of it. Palace Station Sunday Champagne Brunch.
Spring, the Pacific Coast Athletic Association honors the top male and female scholar athlete from each member institution. Today at halftime, we'd like to recognize 2 of those honorees as this week's Hayes Classroom Champions. From San Jose State is football player Wayne Woodward. Wayne was a 2-year starter at defensive tackle for the Spartans and led the team in tackles each of those years. He earned a 3.01 grade point average in industrial technology. From the University of California, Santa Barbara is basketball player Kristen Nicholson. Kristen, a 2-time All-PCA player, was the Conference Player of the Year in 1984. A psychology major, Kristen earned a 3.34 grade point average during her career at UCSB. And those are the Hayes Classroom Champions for this week.
Hey, I'm no different from you. I used to have a good time like everybody else. But I tell you one thing.
Drugs and alcohol are just not part of my good time. I'm having too much fun to let drugs get in my way. And alcohol, well, I can live without it. I like to be in control, fully confident. I'm doing all right for myself. I'm happy with my life. And drugs are just a waste of time for me. After all, you can't be a hit when you're high.
And don't forget, single-day tickets for the 12th annual PCA Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament, March 5, 6, and 7th at the Forum, are on sale now at all Southern California Ticketmaster locations, the Forum box office, and the athletic ticket office of your local PCA school. Experience the excitement and the pageantry of the West's first postseason basketball tournament as the PCA decides its representative to this year's NCAA Men's and Women's Championship. Tickets available at the Forum, PCA member schools, and Ticketmaster.
It's been an all-Aggie first half in more ways than one, but the bottom line, the score. New Mexico State 43, UNLV 24.
Take me back where I belong. Take me where it's safe and warm.
The Goodyear Vector is the all-season radial that pumps water away to keep more tire tread on the road. And for some, that's a comforting thought.
Take me home, Goodyear, take me home. Never matters how far I go. Goodyear, take me home.
This is a Hayes modem. Plug it into ordinary phone lines, and you can send financial projections to the PC down the hall, or locate a single part anywhere across the country. Make airline reservations, send or receive electronic mail, or access millions of pages of data, from company profiles to every fact in the encyclopedia. The Hayes modem. It's like sending your PC to college for under $600.
You know, life's too short to worry about impressing other people. I mean, have you ever been really impressed by a person's credit card? What matters about a credit card is how it impresses me. MasterCard gives me what I want, and anything is possible. It goes where I want to go. Could be Timbuktu. When I want, day or night. Don't talk to me about impressions. Give me possibilities. MasterCard. Master the possibilities.
Before you try anything new on an Alaska Airlines flight, we try it first.
Too spicy? Too spicy. Too spicy.
More?
More. More.
More?
More. Too far. Too far? Too far. Too far. Still too spicy? Still too spicy.
Still too spicy.
Louder. 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 Too loud. Too loud.
Too loud. Why does Alaska Airlines go to all this trouble? So you won't have to.
Goodyear and its retailers present Inside Track on PCAA Conference Basketball. Goodyear takes you home. And now to take you down the inside track, Lynn Shackelford.
Very much, Mike Walden. Yes, it is now time for the Shack to give you the inside track. What we're going to do is give you a couple points here at halftime that each team must do in the second half if, well, you're in UNLV to come back, New Mexico State to win the game. First of all, for UNLV, they must keep shooting the three-pointers. I know they're only 2 for 11 in the first half from that range, but that is their game, and of course that is what can get them back into it in a hurry. So they got to find a way to get Banks and Patio open and fire them up. The second thing is he was not a factor at all in the first half, but they got to wake Armin Gilliam up and keep going inside to him, because that may make a few things happen. It may get a few other players in foul trouble, and he's got to get into the scoring act. For New Mexico State, hey, it's simple. Just keep playing the same way and keep their strong inside players, Robertson and McLaughlin, out of foul trouble. They, let's face it, dominated inside here in the first half. And secondly, of course, Kenny Travis has got to be out there on the court, I think, for them to win this game. He had an unbelievable first half, Kenny Travis did. He has 2 fouls. So if he gets in foul trouble and has to spend time on the bench, UNLV could perhaps come back in a hurry. What a brilliant first half, Mike Walden, that Kenny Travis had. And, of course, it's nothing new for him.
No, certainly, because PCAA Player of the Week honors go to Kenny Travis. He had 44 points last week in a pair of victories over Fresno State and UOP. And in fact, it was his last second shot up at Fresno that enabled the Aggies to win that decision a week ago Thursday night. And by the way, it's the second time this season that Kenny Travis has been so honored as the PCAA Player of the Week. But listen, I don't care what Kenny Travis has done before. Nothing he has done before can top his first half performance here today.
Now, this is easily the best first half performance we've seen by any player in the PCA all season.
Travis, for example, is 9 out of 12 from the floor, 2 out of 2 at the free throw line, and he also has 6 rebounds.
He can't do as well in the second half, but if he can have a good second half, they should win the game.
Congratulations to UNLV. The Running Rebels have won the PCAA title for the 5th straight year, and just 2 weeks ago, New Mexico State was down in 9th place. And now look, the Aggies are up in 2nd place and with a 19-point halftime lead on UNLV. New Mexico State, winners of 4 in a row and 6 out of the last 7. And look at Jerry Pim's Santa Barbara team. And Fullerton and Utah State. In fact, you can throw a blanket over the number 2 to the number 9 teams in the PCAA, with Fresno State bringing up the rear. Now tonight, key game certainly, as George McQuarn will take his Titans up to Santa Barbara against the Gauchos. Fresno State on the road at Utah State. Fresno State, the Bulldogs, they have 5 games left. UC Irvine will be playing at UOP tonight in Stockton.
And of course, as the PCA regular season winds down, that means we have the PCA tournament coming up at the Forum. You can get some tickets for that by going to your local PCA school, call the Forum, call Ticketmaster, and you'll be able to see the men's and women's PCA tournament. The winner of each men's and women's in the tournament will automatically get into the NCAA tournament. And based on what we've seen here in the first half, everyone had assumed UNLV was going to march. Well, maybe that's just not the case. I don't know.
But a whole half is left, and you got to remember UNLV has a lot of firing power. UNLV shot only 23% of the first half. You know they're going to be better in the second half. 43-24 as we get ready to go into the second half. So stay with us on our Raycom PCAA Game of the Week from Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Want to buy a new car or truck, but you're waiting for a factory finance program? Your waiting's over, buddy. Friendly Ford announces 3.9% financing plus volume discount prices. That's $3.9 or up to $600 cash on 1987 Bronco 2s and Rangers. Save now and choose from over 175. Then get $3.9 discount prices or up to $600 cash only at Friendly Ford.
Come get the deal that you've been looking for at Friendly Ford.
At McDonald's, we have just one question for the coach. Aren't you tired of the same old thing? Why not try this? McDonald's Unbeatable Double Cheeseburger, and this, our crowd-pleasing double regular size fries, and a large Coca-Cola. Come on, go for it, Coach. It's McDonald's Runnin' Rebels meal deal, only $2.99. And you get a free Runnin' Rebels bumper sticker that's your ticket to win. Oh, Coach.
The Surgeon General has said that your chances of getting lung cancer are greatly increased if you're around people who smoke. The American Cancer Society and Channel 13 want to stop this health threat from secondary smoke. We'll be at the Meadows Mall March 7th and 8th with petitions for you to sign. If you want to help us clear the air, we'll see you at the Meadows.
Hi, Jim, why don't you join me on 13 for the drive-by night?
Okay, we're just about ready to go into the second half. New Mexico State and UNLV. It's 43-24 in favor of the Aggies. Let's check some of the individual stats. As you look at the scoring for UNLV, let me just run down some shooting percentages. Patio is 3 out of 8. Mark Wade is 1 out of 8. Armin Gilliam is 2 out of 7. Eldridge Hudson. Let's see what Hudson has done. Hudson is 2 out of 4. Freddie Banks, a big surprise. Banks 1 out of 6. Gary Graham is 0 for 5. Now, when you realize that UNLV is shooting 50% from the floor for the entire season, and they shoot only 23% in the first half, you know they're going to pick that up in the second half. For New Mexico State, Kenny Travis, a great All-America performance by the 6'2 senior. 22 points, and Travis 9 out of 12 from the floor, 6 rebounds to go with his 22 points. And also, your mic isn't on, Lynn. We'll get that taken care of. UNLV with 23% from the floor. New Mexico State 60%. And New Mexico State out rebounding UNLV. I would like to point out one thing, if I may. I remember a key game that Iowa had against Illinois, and both of those two are powers in the Big Ten Conference. Iowa trailed by 22 points in the second half at Champaign, the home of the Fighting Illini, and Iowa came on to win. So even though that 19-point lead for New Mexico State looks very fat, and I know everybody said, we got a 19-point lead here in Las Cruces. Believe me, folks, the game is not over yet.
No, it's not. Ordinarily, we'd be sitting here saying, this is a rout. This isn't close at all. But you just can't ignore UNLV's explosive possibilities offensively. The important thing is for New Mexico State to come out and play hard. If they let up thinking they've got a 19-point lead, the crowd will let up. Now all of a sudden you're looking at a different situation.
And I think the crowd was really a sixth man for New Mexico State in the first half. Second half action coming up.
Did I say I'd come today? Does he know I'm on my way? Are you there? Where are you? Don't you care anymore?
The Goodyear Eagle GT Plus 4 is the performance tire with all-season capabilities, and that can make all the difference in the world.
Take me home, Goodyear, take me home.
All the action, all the excitement of your favorite teams, and their best plays. From the strategy to the pageantry. It's all brought to you live over the Raycom Sports Network, the largest independent collegiate sports network in the country.
Ford announces a new 6-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty on all new 1987 Ford cars. And you can now get 3.9% financing plus up to $600 cash back on Tempo, Escort, and Mustang. Combined with option package discounts, you can save up to $1,558 on Ford Tempo, $1,335 on Ford Mustang, and $1,294 on Ford Escort. Ford value, better than ever.
Today's PCAA conference game is brought to you by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. It never matters how far you go, Goodyear takes you home. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Hayes Microcomputer Products. Say yes to the future with Hayes. UNLV with a 27-1 record, #1 of the nation, 15-0 in the PCAA. That one loss for the Rebels was a controversial one-point decision to Oklahoma in Norman back in January. So now the Rebels have a lot of ground to make up, trailing by 19 points as we get ready to start play in the second half. New Mexico State will go with Keith Hill, Kenny Travis, Jock White, Johnny Robertson, and Steve McLaughlin. For UNLV, it'll be Mark Wade, Gerald Patio, Freddie Banks, Jarvis Bashnight, Armin Gilliam. The way both teams started the game, 43-24, New Mexico State. Let's see how the Aggies come out here at the start of the second half, and also the Rebels. Hill misses the shot, grabbed by Gilliam. Gilliam off to Wade. There is Bashnight going hard, scores it. It's 26-43. UNLV down by 17. Bash Knight was fouled, and he will go to the line.
I like that UNLV bench at the top of your picture. They're all up off their feet. They're cheering. Okay, this is going to be our half. And I also like that move by the left-handed Bash Knight.
Foul was on Jock White. Bash Knight, his first points in the game. Crowd trying to make it tough on him. I don't know. I think all of those distractions back of the basket really cause a player to concentrate even more.
Yeah, I really don't think they affect the shooter at all, Mike. I tend to agree. That's a good point you brought out earlier.
43-27. New Mexico State. A turnover. Kenny Travis couldn't find the handle. Gilliam off to Wade. There is Patio, a three-pointer. Patio gets it right back, then loses it out of bounds. And Patio is upset with himself. And Jerry Tarkanian is upset with Gerald Patio.
Yeah, but you just got to say, hey, I missed the shot. I made a good rebound. I just didn't keep control of it. That's okay.
And it comes. It's knocked away. There goes Patio. Rejected. And the foul will be on Kenny Travis, his third.
And Neil McCarthy might be thinking, should I call a timeout? Yeah, things aren't going right at all here. Good steal. The inbounds pass, and UNLV just took it to the hoop.
So McCarthy is forced to call a timeout in the first 46 seconds of the second half. It's 43-27.
Water, when mixed with the right chemicals and applied under pressure, will clean the most difficult of items. And the perfect medium is the Landa Portable Hot or Cold Pressure Washer from Vosburg Equipment. It can be used in a variety of applications to easily clean equipment and facilities, which is just one of the reasons why Landa is the leader in pressure washers. Vosburg Equipment is also the Southern Nevada dealer for Ditch Witch and Trail King equipment trailers, offering sales, rentals, and a complete line of service. Remember the name, Vosburg, for your equipment needs. Valley View and Plain.
At McDonald's, we have just one question for the coach. Aren't you tired of the same old thing? Why not try this? McDonald's Unbeatable Double Cheeseburger, and this, our crowd-pleasing double regular size fries, and a large Coca-Cola. Come on, go for it, Coach. It's McDonald's Runnin' Rebels meal deal, only $2.99. And you get a free Runnin' Rebels bumper sticker that's your ticket to win. Oh, Coach.
Wanted by Honda car lovers, Frank Ellis of Falcone's Tropicana Honda. We can't find him. He's been spending all his time at the all-new Falcone's Acura of Las Vegas. So now's the time to sneak over to Falcone's Tropicana Honda and get the buy a lifetime. And during a limited time only, we'll even pay you a 6% rebate on any new Honda of your choice. Come join the Falcone family at the lowest priced Honda dealer in America. Falcone's Tropicana Honda. We won't be undersold.
Let's check over our Raycom scoreboard. Holy Cross beat Manhattan today back in the East. Oh, Dayton over Marquette 59-57. TCU still the power in the Southwest Conference. Victory over Texas Tech. Oklahoma State. Say the Cowboys have been playing well of late, knocking off Johnny Orr on the Iowa State Cyclones today.
Yeah, a couple good teams in Oklahoma this year.
And Missouri coming on strong. That was a big win for Missouri, 76-68 over Colorado in the Big 8. Patio at the free throw line. Misses. At the line today, UNLV 5 out of 7. Look at Jerry. You wouldn't know. He has that same expression when his team has a 20-point lead. Maybe not quite as glum. Doesn't show much emotion on the bench. Patio misses both free throws. 43-27, New Mexico State. Keith Hill. Kenny Travis. Inside, McLaughlin doesn't get it. Mark Wade has it for UNLV. To Freddie Banks. Will he put it up from three-point range? No, into Gilliam. 5-footer. Yep. Gilliam's got it. So UNLV scores 5 unanswered points to start this second half. And that once handsome New Mexico State lead is dwindling. Roberson has it batted away. Banks has it. Banks off to Wade. Wade over to Patio. A three-pointer. Patio gets it right back. Patio spins it up. Again doesn't get it. And it is lost by Hill. And it's going to be a jump ball. Alternate possession.
I think a jump ball is the easy play to call there. Gilliam really stays with it. Now Gilliam, he's comfortable when he's on the floor because he was a wrestler in high school, so this is natural for him.
Out of bounds to UNLV, 43-29. You could just feel the concern from the fans here at the Pan Am Center. Their 20-point lead is down to 14. There is Wade. He's open, and he nails it. A three-pointer by Wade. 43-32. 8 unanswered points now for UNLV. And it's tipped through. It was Steve McLaughlin tipping it through. And oh, what a key hoop that was for New Mexico State. Banks, a three-pointer. Gilliam on a follow-up. 45-34. Now the New Mexico State lead is down to 11. 17 and a half minutes to play. Kenny Travis, 22 sensational points in the first half. Hasn't handled the ball much because it's been all UNLV in this second half. In the first 2.5 minutes. Jock White off to Robertson. He's open. Can't find the range. Gilliam to Wade.
Johnny Robertson's one of those streaky shooters, and today he has been off from outside.
Last night, along the baseline, and the foul whistled against either Hill or Robertson. Hill was in front, Robertson in back. And it's on Keith Hill. An interesting point. UNLV has been behind 5 times at halftime this season. They were down 9 to Memphis State, 1 to Oklahoma, 7 to Arizona, 16 to Western Kentucky, 7 at the half to Temple, and yet UNLV came on to win all of those games.
Certainly one thing that three-point basket can do for you.
Bass Knight puts it in, and it's now 45-35. Remember, it was a 19-point spread at halftime. It's down to 10. Bass Knight doesn't get it.
Oh, in way too soon, though, was Robertson. Hoping the official didn't see it.
And Bass Knight will get another opportunity. Neil McCarthy's team led at the intermission, 43-24. Now it's 45-35. And he gets that one. This turns out to be a one-point game. That's going to be certainly a key play. 45-36. New Mexico State. Travis across the timeline. Checked there by Wade. Banks comes over to challenge. And foul is on Patio. Foul is on Patio.
I thought he made a great defensive play right here in front of us. Travis had trouble getting a handle on the ball. Patio comes over right here and I think makes a good little steal. Oh, you can see he did push off with his forearm there. He sure did.
I think New Mexico State is now playing like UNLV played in the first half.
Well,
nervous and tentative.
Yeah, real tentative out there. Look at this. They didn't want to bring the ball up the floor. He wants to give it to someone else. They got to settle down and get into their offense here.
White runs into his own man. Out of bounds, UNLV. Twelve turnovers by New Mexico State. They've been averaging 16 miscues a game. A 9-point lead, but it was 19 at the half. 16:43 to go. Inbounding it will be Jarvis Bass Knight. UNLV has outscored them 12-2 at the start of this half. Gilliam.
Yep, you got to keep going to Armin Gilliam. It looks like he's ready to do some scoring.
Well, that's what you pointed out on the inside track at halftime.
Well, he's such a great player. If you're going to win the game, he's got to be involved somehow.
45-38. UNLV has outscored New Mexico State 14-2 to start this half. McLaughlin outside. White couldn't get it. Keith Hill gets it back for New Mexico State. Robertson.
Where's Kenny Travis? They need a hoop from him.
Travis has got it now, and he releases his shot, but he doesn't get it, and it's punched out of bounds. Touched last by Fast Knight. And Gary Graham replaces Freddie Banks for UNLV. Neil McCarthy has not substituted much. In fact, he's had only one sub in there, and that is Jeff McCool in the entire game.
Well, I think it's going to really wear on somebody like Travis as we get down to about 4 or 5 minutes left in the game.
45-38, the Aggies of New Mexico State, but that lead is very tenuous right now. Chuck Cabuso calls the timeout as White said, we got to have a timeout. So it's a timeout, New Mexico State. Just under 16 minutes left, and that once fat 19-point lead has dwindled down to this, 45-38.
You know, life's too short to worry about impressing other people. I mean, have you ever been really impressed by a person's credit card? What matters about a credit card is how it impresses me. MasterCard gives me what I want, and anything is possible. It goes where I want to go. Could be Timbuktu. When I want, day or night. Don't talk to me about impressions. Give me possibilities. MasterCard. Master the possibilities.
Take me back where I belong. Take me where this heart was born. Just take me as I am and let me stay. Take me home. Could you take me home? Never matters how far I go. Good here, take me home.
The Great American Face. Rugged, distinctive. The Great American Razor. Atra. Solid. Pivots for closeness. The Great American Face deserves the Great American Shave. Atra. Only from Gillette.
If you will recall back to the first half, UNLV shot only 23%. Look what they've done in the second half, 56%. And not much at all for New Mexico State. Neil McCarthy wants goaltending.
Yeah, I don't think so. In fact, I thought it was a pretty good block by Hudson. Nice pass. Hudson goes up. Makes, I think, a clean block.
The foul on Hudson. Johnny Robertson goes to the free throw line. R-O-B-E-R-S-O-N, but it's pronounced Robertson. From San Antonio, Texas, 6'8" sophomore. Remember, UNLV has outscored the Aggies now 14-2 in this half. Make it 14-3.
The beauty of playing in front of this large crowd is if New Mexico State can hit a couple hoops and get the crowd going again, they'll regain their momentum. They can do it.
46-38, New Mexico State, leading #1 ranked UNLV. Wade from outside, drills at a three-pointer by Mark Wade. Now it's only 46-41. Keith Hill, Robertson. Travis over on the right side.
Good movement by all the New Mexico State players away from the ball.
Travis keeps calling for the ball. Robertson in along the line, and the foul is called underneath. It's against UNLV. It's on Gerald Patio. His second three-team foul, UNLV. I was watching Travis away from the ball. When the ball didn't come into him, he was really disgusted and chewing the teammates out. Get it into me. I'm open. I got the hot hand. Indeed, he did with 22 first-half points. But he hasn't handled the ball much this second half.
Yeah, he's got to have it.
46-41. Inbounding will be Keith Hill. Back out it comes to Robertson. There's Travis. West is on him. Robertson's shot, no good. Rebounded by Gilliam, taken away by Travis. Travis has it stripped away. Travis picks it up, doesn't get it. A tip, no good. and we got a foul underneath. That'll send Travis to the free throw line.
What's remarkable here is how he gets this miss. Grabs it, and now he goes up so high that he almost makes himself a three-point play here.
Travis will shoot a couple of free throws, 22 first half points. That kind of sums up the way things have been going for New Mexico State in this half. The halftime score was 43-24 New Mexico State. The Aggies are only 6 out of 11 at the free throw line. 47-41 Aggies. Just under 15 minutes left. Gary Graham to Gilliam. Inside to Gilliam. Shoots it over McLaughlin. An air ball. A tip by Hudson. Hudson funneled it back in. 47-43. And now UNLV with 4 points of New Mexico State. Heath Hill off to Travis. Travis on the drive. Pushes it up. It goes through. They'll say no basket. Dave Libby says no basket.
That was some kind of shot, though, wasn't it?
It sure was. It was a shot like that that beat Fresno State up in Selland Arena a week ago Thursday.
Oh, he really got belted and made it.
Foul is on Lawrence West. That's 2 on West. But importantly, it is 5 fouls. 5 team fouls on UNLV.
I'll tell you what, he makes that and they count it, and that really would have brought the crowd up again.
Kenny Travis almost trapped. McLaughlin. Gilliam is on him. Robertson. Hudson bumping him around. Heath Hill off to Jock White. Travis puts it up over West and scores it. The shot was blocked partially by West. Travis got it right back and scored it.
Yeah, it was knocked out of his hands and touched by someone else. That's why it was not a travel.
A 6-point lead, New Mexico State. And we got a foul away from play. Dave Libby, the referee, making the call on Lawrence West, his third, and that will be 6 team fouls on UNLV.
Hey, West said, get this guy off of me or I'm going to push him down, and that's what he did, and the official saw it.
Crowd starting to come alive again at the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Mike Walden and Lynn Shackelford with you. We've had a good one. Gilliam bumped by Robertson, nothing called. Gilliam is upset. And he's saying something to Dave Libby.
Yeah, Gilliam's pretty cool head out there, though. He just say, hey, these guys are bumping me.
Into Gilliam. Blocked from behind by Robertson. Taken off by Travis. Travis almost has it stolen in the backcourt by Hudson. Inside to McLaughlin. McLaughlin over Gilliam. Does get it. It'll be out of bounds. New Mexico State.
Thanks to Kenny Travis. He's all over that offensive board, keeping the ball alive. This is a real important stretch here. If New Mexico State could rattle off a couple good hoops. Was Gilliam fouled down here, or was it blocked? Ooh, it looks like it was blocked. If New Mexico State could rattle off a couple impressive baskets here and the crowd goes crazy, they'll have regained that momentum that they can get because of the playing at home in front of the big crowd.
McLaughlin, tough shot, doesn't get it, but he is fouled, and the foul is on Jarvis Bassnight. 17 fouls now against UNLV. So for the last 13 and a half minutes, every time there is a foul, New Mexico State's going to go to the line. Unless it's a player control foul, of course. McLaughlin. Steve McLaughlin, the 6'8 sophomore. He and Kenny Travis are buddies from back at Edison High in Fresno. Did get the bounce. A 7-point lead for the Aggies, 50-43. Neil McCarthy in his second year. He's had a winning record in 2 years, 32-24 here at New Mexico State.
And McLaughlin, only a sophomore. He's a good one.
51-43. The Aggies up by 8. Freddie Banks into Bassnight. Bassnight kicks it out the way to three-pointer by Wade. Yes.
Oh, he's found the range.
It's 51-46. 13 points for Mark Wade. Wade's high is 14 against Fullerton.
New Mexico State's having some problems inbounding here. They're gathering too close to each other. They need to spread the floor more.
New Mexico State 51, UNLV 46. 13 minutes left. Banks and a three-pointer. And a foul called. Banks was fouled on the three-point attempt. And it's on Jock White. 3 fouls on Jock White. 4 team fouls against New Mexico State. (51-46), 13 minutes to go. Banks has been a good free throw shooter, an 80%er. Look at that, though. Only 3 points in the game for a guy just under 20 points per average.
You know, one of the UNLV people was telling me that he's a streaky shooter. He said he's had a streak all year long. He's never had a bad shooting game to speak of, and this is a bad one.
51-47. So bad game and all. The Rebels, #1 in the nation, just 4 points down with a lot of time left. 51-47. Trying to inbound to Travis, and UNLV doing a great job of denying the ball.
That they are. They're all over it. As I said, New Mexico State needs to spread out a bit more. Move. They're kind of standing.
Heath Hill will inbound.
Throw a couple fakes, go into your man, and then move.
Into Travis. Travis off to Robertson, threw it away.
No, it's got to be New Mexico State. It's got to be. It's touched by a UNLV player.
Maybe, but it's out of bounds to UNLV. McCarthy still arguing with the officials. That's the 15th New Mexico State turnover. Graham for 3. Gilliam. No, they're going to take the basket away. Traveling on Gilliam. 51-47. The UNLV players are very animated today. Every time a call goes their way, they have a big grimace on their face, and you're yelling and screaming. It's not like UNLV.
Well, especially the bench here in the second half. I like that. That's good. Shows you they want to win the game.
51-47. Aggies.
You know, they don't have to win the game. They'd lose their #1 ranking, but they're still going to win the conference and everything.
They've already won it.
Yeah.
Hill from outside for 3. Oh, a big three-point play, and he's fouled by Gilliam.
Okay, a chance for a rare 4-point play.
You know, Keith Hill is only a 34% shooter from three-point range, but he sure looked good on this one.
Looking at it again, Gilliam tries to fake and just goes by, and it's hard to tell whether he got a piece of the hand or not.
It's the first personal foul on Armin Gilliam. It's 54-47, and the Aggies have had their difficulty at the free throw line, shooting only 50% at the stripe. Into Bashnight. Slapped away, loose ball. Bashnight goes for it. Alternate possession. Out of bounds, New Mexico State.
Now, a hoop here would really be a big, big break for New Mexico State. It really gets the crowd going again.
A 7-point lead. Jerry Tarkanian's team down by 7, and he's been working on that towel since the first 5 minutes.
They're going to call it on Travis. He got frustrated with Banks right there. He gave him a little nudge, and Banks acted it out really well.
That'll be 3 fouls now on Kenny Travis. Check it. It's 4 fouls. 4 fouls on Travis. So now what do? You're Neil McCarthy. 12 minutes, 17 seconds. Do you take him out? Do you let him stay?
I think you got to get him out of there.
Well, he's still in there. Inbounds, it comes to Wade. Aggies 54, UNLV 47. Patio. Patio for 3 points. Banks leaping high. Doesn't get it. Gilliam does.
And now the crowd's real quiet. Great basket for UNLV. Brilliant offensive rebounding.
A 5-point lead for the Aggies, who led by 19 at the half. Jock White. Robertson. Keith Hill. There is Jock White. Doesn't get it. Rebound to Banks. Wade. Mark Wade in the middle. Jump passes out to Patio. Three-pointer by Patio. Short. McLaughlin for New Mexico State.
One thing New Mexico State has not had in this half, and that's fast breaks. They got a few in the first half against UNLV, and I think they aren't rebounding as well.
I was just going to point out the Aggies are getting one shot if they're in. That's it. 54-49. New Mexico State. Travis doesn't get it. Gilliam. Here comes Wade. Wade off the Patio. Lay it in. It's 54-51. This is as close as UNLV has been since the first 3 minutes of the game. 10 minutes, 42 seconds left. Inside to McLaughlin. Knocked away by Patio. New Mexico State wants a timeout. 10:34 left. That once comfortable 19-point lead has been drained to only 3. We'll be back.
It's not Jamaica. It's not Tahiti. And it's certainly not Mazatlan. It's Las Vegas, man. Only at the Tropicana. Come play on the island.
Who's the #1 Toyota dealer in Nevada? It's no contest. The very best is Toyota West. And here's why. We're #1 in customer satisfaction.
Yeah, Toyota West gave us a great deal.
#1 in service.
Toyota West fixed my car on a Saturday.
And the #1 guaranteed best deal in Nevada. There's no reason to look anywhere else. The very best is Toyota West.
And at the end of today's telecast, we'll be selecting our Ford Player of the Game. My choice still would be Kenny Travis. Travis had 22 points in the first half, has only 3 here in the second half, but without Travis, New Mexico State doesn't lead by 19 at the half.
Yeah, and look at your second half shooting. UNLV still getting up the most shots in the contest, and now starting to cash in. New Mexico State has really cooled off.
UNLV has outscored them 27-11 in this second half.
And I suppose that's the reason that Kenny Travis is still out there, but what a risk playing out there with 4 fouls. If he fouls out right now,
say goodnight.
Say goodnight, and the fans can start piling out, I think.
Out it comes to Robertson.
Of course, Neil McCarthy knows his talent. Can Travis play with 4? That's going to be a critical factor.
Robertson thought he was fouled. Banks for 3. Slap back out to Wade. That's what UNLV does so very well. They have that great leaping ability, able to slap that ball out, and Wade chases it down. There goes Banks along the baseline. Corkscrews it up. Terrible shot by Banks.
Yeah, he just wanted to draw the foul, and that's what he got accomplished. I think the reason it gets a call is because the player has kind of a side of his body to him, and that's where he got him.
And that's on Travis. That'll be 5 fouls. Travis has fouled out.
Well, see, that's what I was saying. Does he know how to play with 4 fouls? Can he play effectively and yet back off?
We have 10 minutes left in the game. 10:04 exactly. Travis has 25 points, and he's just fouled out. Travis is, wait a minute, maybe there's a mistake. Maybe it's only 4. He's still on the court.
Well, the scoreboard had 4 up there all the time until this one was called. But I don't remember Mike his 3rd. Yeah, he's going to leave.
They should give him a standing ovation. Single-handedly, he took on #1 UNLV in the first half. 25 points. The PCAA Player of the Week, Kenny Travis.
We must have had a tee down here as well.
I didn't see it. Banks nails both free throws to pull UNLV to within 1. Maybe we can find out about the tee. Let's check across the way. Banks nails that. Now we've got a tie game at 54. It might have been on Neil McCarthy.
Yeah, that's what the word we get is that the technical was on Neil McCarthy.
For the first time since the first 2 minutes of the game, UNLV is into the lead at 55 to 54. 10 minutes left. And McCarthy is still chewing on Dave Libby. 55-54. Travis is fouled out. There goes Banks. Banks reverse lay-in, gets it. Now it is 57 to 54. UNLV by 3. Into McCool. McCool filling in for Travis, who fouled out. Jock White. Robertson. Back over to White. Over to Keith Hill. From outside, Hill doesn't get it. But you see, they were able to get the ball inside to McLaughlin and Travis. And now, with Travis out of there, UNLV is facing really a one-armed fighter. 57-54, the Rebels with 9 minutes to go. Freddie Banks for 3. Banks has really been off in this game. It'll be out of bounds, New Mexico State. Gilliam touched it last. So Travis left with 5. With the score 54-51, New Mexico State's favor. But then the free throws and the technical, and now the Rebels are on top. 9 minutes to go. Over to Robertson. Keith Hill.
They're doing the right thing. They're moving it around, running their offense.
McCool for 3. Robertson drives and gets it. 57 to 56. Robertson has 9 points. Graham and Bashnight off to Wade. There's Gilliam.
Good movement, good passing, and good cut by Gilliam to get himself open on the low post.
Gilliam has 14 points, 10 of them here in the second half.
I'll tell you, this full court pressure that UNLV has put on has turned this game around as much as anything else here in the second half, too.
Eldridge Hudson, Gerald Patio, Armand Gilliam, Gary Graham, and Mark Wade for UNLV. John Robertson, Steve McLaughlin, Keith Hill, Jeff McCool, and Jock White for New Mexico State. 3-point lead for the Rebels, 59-56. Patio to Hudson. Into Gilliam, and he misses the 5-footer. Robertson has it, and a foul called by Chuck Camuso against UNLV. It'll be on Eldridge Hudson. 3 on Hudson. We will walk to the other end to shoot the 1-and-1. But New Mexico State has not done a good job at the free throw line. 9 out of 15. According to Dave Walden, handling our stats today.
Being in the bonus, they're going to have, I think, a lot of opportunities here the rest of the way. It's going to be critical for them to cash in.
Howard Zuckerman in the truck, along with Jim Armentrout, Jerry Cole.
McCool is a good one at the free throw line.
59-57.
Good golfer, has good hand-eye coordination, you would think, shooting 88% in the conference play at the line. And I think they'll need a couple three-pointers from him before the day's over.
Could have used that one. 59-57, UNLV. 7:45 remaining. Mike Walden, Lynn Shackelford. We will not have a game next Saturday, but we will a week from tomorrow. This same UNLV team at Sellon Arena against the Bulldogs of Fresno State. Sunday afternoon, March the 1st, our next PCAA Raycom game of the week. Graham misses, but a foul on Jock White. 4 fouls on Jock White. If you're just joining us on the telecast, the halftime score was 43-24. New Mexico State. The Rebels shot only 23%. New Mexico State 60%. But it's been a different story in the second half. That one was way offline. I think that time the crowd did distract Graham. 59-57, UNLV. 60-57. Ball will be inbounded by Keith Hill to McLaughlin. That press giving the Aggies some problems. Off to White. McCool for 3.
He's shooting him long.
White underneath, corkscrews it up, and a foul against UNLV. That'll send Jock White to the line. White is 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. Foul is on Wade, his 3rd.
They've just got to make all their free throws, New Mexico State.
That's one of them. A 60-58 game. UNLV. McCarthy rather calm and cool at this stage. It's 60-59 UNLV. Here comes Wade. The crowd really trying to lift this Aggie team. The Aggies trail by 1. Graham. Wade inside Gilliam with the left hand. When in doubt, go to Armand.
Yeah, Wade knows when to hit him and how to get it into him.
62-59. Nevada, Las Vegas. Graham all over McCool.
I'll say.
McCool off to McLaughlin. Score it. 62-61. McLaughlin with his buddy Travis on the bench with 5 fouls. Now has 14. 14 points for Steve McLaughlin. 1-point lead for UNLV. Graham to Banks. 3-pointer by Banks. Hudson has it. Back out it comes to Graham. Graham underneath Gilliam. Gilliam on the stuff. 64-61. Banks has really been off in his shooting today. Here's McCool near midcourt to McLaughlin. 3-point lead, UNLV at 64-61. White has it stripped. There goes Wade. Wade off to Gilliam for a stuff. 66-61. And now you know why UNLV is #1 in the nation. Robertson.
Not a good shot. Should have run the offense. Wait for everybody else to get down. They're starting to fall apart a little bit, as you thought they might with Kenny Travis fouling out.
Graham for 3.
That'll just kill you right there. A 3-pointer like that. They don't even wait to run down the shot clock.
69-61 UNLV with 5 minutes to go.
New Mexico State has only 1 timeout left. That's why, in case you're wondering, they're not using it right now. They need a timeout, but they just don't want to use that last one.
Robertson into McLaughlin. McLaughlin has it blocked by Gilliam, gets it back, can't score it. McCool does. 69-63. McCool with 3 points today. Travis fouled out with 10 minutes to play, and he had scored 25 points, 22 in the first half. Banks finds Wade. Graham tempted but does not. Banks is only 2 out of 12. Tries to pass back out, and it'll be chased down by Wade. Flips it over to Grant. Saved it. Wade hanging in midair. Saved it. An acrobatic play by little Mark Wade. Graham from outside. Hits it. Another 3-pointer.
That's how they got to be #1. They'll just kill you with those 3-pointers.
72-63, UNLV. With a 9-point lead, it's hard to believe that UNLV trailed by 19 at the half, but that was the case.
Pretty impressive when you can trail by 19. Freddie Banks is having a horrendous shooting day, and yet you can come back and win on the road in front of this crowd.
We get a timeout here at the Pan American Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. UNLV with a strong second half, up by 9.
With the Hayes modem, a sales manager can check inventories in manufacturing or track shipments through the mainframe across the country. A lawyer can get precedents to prepare a brief. A farmer can check commodity prices to determine when to sell. And an investor can get the information he needs from Dow Jones, Dun & Bradstreet, or even the government. The Hayes modem. It's like fitting a 10,000 book library in a 10-inch case.
Alpha team, aggressor tank spotted.
In a battle drill, you need horsepower, firepower, people power. That's teamwork.
Moving tank, track front, 2,000.
This team uses a computer, thermal sight, laser rangefinder.
Ah! Yeah! All that you can.
We win, the whole tank wins. The whole team wins, not just one person.
Find your future in the Army.
And of course, New Mexico State may get one more shot at UNLV, and that could come in the PCA tournament. Winding up the PCA season March 5th, 6th, and 7th at the Forum. UNLV has won the conference every year. They've won the PCA tournament every year except once. So they'll be trying to win their fourth in that. Checkmate. They've won 5 conference titles.
Hill lobs it in. Jock White has it rejected by Gilliam. Oh, was that a powerful rejection?
Gilliam just kind of goes about his business.
Now, Freddie Banks has made only 1 out of 8 in 3-point shots. He is 2 out of 12. But that just shows you the depth of this UNLV team. Banks can have an off day, and they can still win. Up now by 9 with 3.5 minutes left. Into Gilliam. Wade goes for that baseline. Wisely taking some time off of the clock. Shot clock is down to 10. Game clock a little over 3. Banks too far underneath. Scores it this time. Freddie Banks. 74-63. Now UNLV running away with it.
Yeah, New Mexico State's got to go to the 3-point shot.
And that really isn't a strength for New Mexico State. They don't shoot it that often. Jeff McCool is the best threat from 3-point range. Travel arranged through PSA. Whether you're skiing the slopes of Tahoe, Mount Bachelor, or Steamboat Springs, fly PSA, the pioneer of low fares in the West. The foul on Mark Wade, his 4th. That all may be academic, however, because UNLV has taken command. 74-63 UNLV. 74-64. Wade to Basnight. To Graham. Into Gilliam. Gilliam at the side does it again. Oh, as Gilliam had a second half. 22 points in the game, 18 coming in the second half.
Yeah, I want to tell you something. Steve McLaughlin is worn out and tired. The hammer kind of wore him down. McLaughlin had the upper hand in the first half. He was impressive.
McCool's three-pointer finds the range. Jeff McCool, 76-67. McCool has 6. But UNLV in command, up by 9 with less than 2 minutes to go. Mike Walden, Lynn Shackelford. Don't forget our next PCA Raycom Game of the Week. A week from tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, Sellon Arena, Fresno. The Bulldogs of Fresno State against, number 1 UNLV. And it goes to Gilliam. Fade away, he's got it. 24 points by Armin Gilliam. 78-67. If any one guy has sparked this second half surge, it would have to be Gilliam.
Yeah, and he's done it at both ends of the court, too. Rebounding. He may even have tipped that one in. I don't know, Gilliam accidentally, but he's been all over the boards.
They'll credit the ball to the basket to Keith Hill. 78-69 UNLV. Off the Banks. And an elbowing foul against Jarvis Basnight. Less than a minute to go. 3 fouls on Basnight. All around, Jerry Tarkanian's team may be better for the first half struggle. I'm saying that because you know they're going to the NCAA, whether they win the PCAA tournament or not. In fact, the best bet for the PCAA would be for somebody to stage the great upset and knock UNLV out over in the tournament at the Forum, March 5th, 6th, and 7th, because that would give the PCAA 2 teams in the NCAA. Whoever wins the tournament automatically qualifies, and you know UNLV is going to be invited.
Well, I said in the first half this will be a real interesting test for UNLV, and they've passed it with flying colors.
45 seconds left. Basnight off the Banks. 78-69. Wade has it slapped away and touched last by Robertson. John Robertson. Out to Wade. Crowd getting a little angry and frustrated now after that glorious first half for New Mexico State. 78-69.
Almost like it was too good of a half.
And the foul is on McCool. That's about all New Mexico State can do now is foul. 17 seconds left. And the scoring for UNLV has been led today by Armin Gilliam with 24. Freddie Banks an off day. Off-day shooting just 12 points. Patio 9. Basnight has 5. Mark Wade 13. Gary Graham 9 and Eldridge Hudson 6. But the key in the second half, the play of Armin Gilliam and the fact that Kenny Travis fouled out with 10 minutes to play.
Yeah.
After scoring 25, 22 of those coming in the first half.
Officially, the game will end in 17 seconds, but it really ended when Kenny Travis fouled out of the contest.
79-69. (80-69) UNLV. So the Runnin' Rebels will retain their #1 ranking with a victory here today. The next game for UNLV will be Thursday night against UOP at the Thomas and Mack Center. That'll be the final home game for UNLV and the 6 Rebel seniors. Graham doesn't beat the clock. It's all over. UNLV with a strong second half overcomes a 19-point deficit. Tarkanian and McCarthy congratulate one another and console one another. It's 80-69 UNLV over New Mexico State.